All right, so we have the LULZBOT TAZ 6 here today, and I'm going to show you how to change the filament, start a print, and then, if necessary, tune the print. So, step number one on this printer is we want to turn this big red button on. That's how you turn the machine on. Okay, give it a second. Now, this user interface right here, this is how we're going to be controlling everything in the machine. We have a knob right here. This knob would work in a click. You'd click it and then rotate clockwise and counterclockwise to go through the menu. So, step one is I always like to auto home the machine once we start. So, click the knob once, and you're going to go down onto movement. Click right there. Now, auto home would be step number one. So, we want to go on to auto home. I'll remove the sprint. So right now it's finding its 0, 0, 0 coordinate point. Takes a second. It's always safer to start that way. All right, now that we're home, we're going to feed that filament through. However, first step, I like to just bring it always a little bit to the center, a little bit raised up. So the way to do that, you will scroll all the way down to move axis. So we'll go to move axis. You would click the knob, and then you can select how fast you want each movement to be. And we're going to go down to 1 millimeter to be on the safe side. So we click there. Now it's going to ask you which axis do you want to move. So we'll start up with the Z. Let's clear up the Z first. So that's my third option right down here. I'll click move Z. Now you can select how many increments you want. So I'm going to go probably up to 30, maybe a little more. Okay, let's go up to 50. So that looks about right. Now I'm going to go up to the Z axis and go towards the center. Right about there. Okay, now that we have where we want our hot end to be, we're going to go all the way back up the menu, to the main menu, and we're going to go under temperature. Under temperature, we're going to click temperature. We're going to go nozzle. We're going to control the nozzle temperature. You can independently control every single option through this user interface right here. However, we just want to control the nozzle, and we're going to raise that to about 220 degrees, because I know this is PLA and that's about the temperature that it needs. So I'm going to increase this temperature all the way up to 220 degrees. Right about there. Now, the moment you stepped out of that, it says that's the current target temperature, so it's going to try to go up to there. And the way to monitor that, go all the way up the menu to info screen or information screen. And you'll see the live temperature versus the target temperature and how fast it increases. It's fairly quick to reach there. It'll take about a couple seconds. Once it gets there, we can start already ahead of time. What we're going to do here is we're going to just open this right here. We're going to pull this up. It's like a little spring tensioner. Once you pull that up, now we can open this whole side right here where the filament will slide right through. So you're going to grab this. That's our filament. You're going to squeeze this right through here. You're going to try to bend it a little bit to make sure it's almost a little straight, because there's a little slot that you have to go right through. You do have to wait till the temperature gets up to 220 degrees, and then you're just going to slide this guy right through. So I'm going to start aligning it right now. This is the old filament that we had in there, right there. So we just pulled that out. And now I can start lining it up at about this temperature. So I'm going to look for the slot, and I'm just going to slide it right through. And then I'm going to push through until I see it coming down from the bottom. So I'm just going to push all the way through until I see it coming down. So it's at about 210 degrees. This should melt PLA. So as you can see, there's a nice stream of filament coming down. I'm applying gentle pressure. It's coming down. Now, if there was a different filament in there, you will want to probably push this until you see the other color, whatever other color was there, gone completely, and you see a nice solid line of this current color. So that looks about good to me. Now that that's good, I'm just going to push this right up against this, make sure I lift my tensioner, push this through, and I'm going to have, it's like a little weird assembly, but once you get the hang of it, it's very straightforward. I'm going to pull this back against the springs until it clicks right through. So just like this. And now once this is down, this goes in the middle. That's what it looks like. Just bring this down. I would remove this. And now we're done with replacing the filament. This filament should work now. Next step is to start the print. Now, I want to point out, you always need to have this little SD card right here. And it has to be, the label must be facing away from you. You're going to slide it right through the side right here. There's only one slot for it. You slide it all the way in. Once that's slid all the way in, we're going to go again through our menu. Click it. Click it one more time. And now you're going to go all the way down to where it says Print from SD. Print from SD. Now, in here, this is the sample. We have different folders. You can scroll through till you find the folder that you want. In ours, we're going to go to, let's see, sample prints. Under sample prints, we're going to go to LULZBOT, and then we're going to go to Rocktopus. Click there. Click there. Now it's going to start the process. You see there's a little goo in there. Just remove that. Usually not with your hands. You probably want a little piece of paper to remove that with. Now it's going to start heating everything up to the settings that it will slice to. So as you just observed, it just auto-cleaned itself on the nozzle and as well leveling itself. So the beauty about the Taz 6 is it auto-levels the bed and it also cleans the nozzle every single time before it starts the 3D prints. Now it's going to go to the other end, leveling all 4 corners, and the head auto-adjusts to whatever position it needs to be. From there, it'll start 3D printing on a level build plate every single time. So now that it finished the process of leveling the bed and cleaning the nozzle, what it's going to do is going to go all the way up to temperature, to the target temperature, which is 230 degrees Celsius. So once it gets there, and it heats up the bed as well to 85 degrees Celsius, it will start 3D printing. So you can see when it first comes out, it doesn't look like a nice solid line, and it's not very rich. So give it a second. Usually it'll auto-correct on its own. Just let it run for a couple seconds. If you don't see it fixing itself, then you should worry. As of right now, I already see it getting better and better every single second passes by. Now, since this print is looking okay, there we go. Now that's the nice solid strip that we're talking about. You guys will see it at the front. If it did not go okay, I will show you how we would tune this. Let's just let it go for one full revolution. You got to observe what's really going on, and then you'll know exactly what to adjust. So I can see that this print needs nothing. This print will run smoothly just the way it is. Now, in case something was off and something did look wrong, the way you would adjust that is this way right here. Again, we go right back to our menu. I will click on our knob. From there, I will go under Tune. You will click on Tune. Now in here, you can adjust almost every single setting you set on the slicer manually directly from here as you observe the machine. So you can increase the speed of the print. Right from here, you can increase the speed upward or slow it down. You can also adjust the temperature. If you can see it's too liquidy, you almost need a little bit cooler. You can go right into this menu, and I can just decrease it to 225. I can do that. Also, I can adjust the bed. If I think this bed is too hot this way, because it's PLA, I don't need this much temperature, I could. I can break it down to, say, 65. You can adjust that as well. Now the flow, if you feel like more filament should come out as the print is printing, you can increase that right here. I would never go past 107 and never below 98, 96. And if there's something off other than that, I would stop the print and reslice and configure the settings. I would never go above 107, so just keep that in the back of your heads. Now, as we keep scrolling through, fan speed, if I feel like I need more cooling a lot faster, I can add these side fans that we have over there. those two side fans, I could increase those. So for the filament to solidify a lot faster. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all the adjustments you would do right on the screen. So as we can see right now, we have a successful print. We can see what percentage through it is. It's about 4% done. Live data right here. Now we just wait till the print is done.